Fascinating world of chemistry. We're looking at two concepts today. Bring this back into size a little better. There we go. And we're looking at something called limiting reactant and the excess reactant. Limiting reactant is defined as the reactant that controls reaction by stopping the reaction when it runs out. So when it's done, the reaction stops. Excess reactant is defined as, there we go, reactant that remains unreacted when the reaction is finished. So when this is done, the reaction is done, the limiting reactant will be all gone, excess reactant hanging out with no one to react with. Okay, so let's look at a problem. Determine the mass of calcium oxide formed when 40.987 grams of calcium reacts with 28.994 liters of oxygen. All right, so first thing we got to do is write the reaction, which you do right there, and balance it. So we go there. So we have two values. We'll start with the first one. We take 40.987 grams of calcium. We're going to go, first step, go to moles. So 1 mole calcium is 40 grams of calcium. We use those two values because calcium going to calcium oxide. Mass, we're in calcium, and I ask you to find the mass of calcium oxide. For the balance equation, 2 moles of calcium oxide is 2 moles of calcium. And then we're going to take calcium and oxygen. Calcium's atomic mass is 40 grams, oxygen is 16. So we get 56 grams of calcium oxide. It's 1 mole of oxygen. Everything crosses out, and we get 57.382 grams of calcium oxide. Is that my answer? Well, it could be. We don't know. Why? Because we got to take the other one all the way to the answer as well. So we take 28.994 liters of oxygen, and because it's a volume of a gas, and we'll assume it's at STP, 1 mole of oxygen at 22.4 liters. Again, we're going to do the 2 here. I'll use squares now so we get a different value. We got 1 mole of oxygen for every 2 moles of calcium oxide. So we have 2 moles of CaO over 1 mole of oxygen. And the last fraction will be exactly the same, 56 grams of calcium oxide of 1 mole. And it crosses out again. We get 144.97 grams of CaO, which is the correct answer. Well, once we get 57.382, all of this is gone. So it doesn't matter that this is what we could have gotten, because that stops it, it's out of there. That's my answer, because calcium oxide, that larger number, can't be formed since my calcium is a limiting reactant and my excess reactant is oxygen. So let's copy this one down, do this in class. Find the mass of copper formed when 78.95 grams of copper 2 chloride react with 78.95 grams of aluminum. Also identify limiting excess reactant. And then we'll do this in class as well. What is the mass of silver chloride formed when 13.98 grams of silver nitrate react with 31.99 grams of lead 3 chloride? Also identify limiting excess reactant. That's it. We're 10. Take care. Be good. Bye.